I'm Karissa Vacker, and welcome back to Sleep Wave, a podcast where we let waves of relaxation wash over you through original sleep meditations created to help you fall asleep tonight. And don't worry if you don't hear the end of an episode. I encourage you to drift off whenever you're ready. I was having dinner with a friend the other night, and she was sharing with me about a particular personality test she recently took. One of the things it measures is how open you are to new experiences and ideas. Some people are very high in openness and tend to be more adventurous and willing to take risks. Others are lower in openness and prefer to stay within a known routine and are more risk-averse. I immediately assumed I would be in the less open category. Trying new things takes a lot of oomph for me, and I do a secret little happy dance inside when plans are canceled and I don't have to go out and meet new people. I definitely fall on the risk-averse side of the coin. These are qualities about myself that I am generally totally okay with, but it did get me thinking about the ways in which it is beneficial to be more open. Last weekend, I woke up in the morning and could hardly turn my head to the right at all. My neck had gotten really stiff overnight, and I was in a lot of discomfort for the next several days. To help alleviate it, I began to do a lot more yoga and also paid attention to my posture throughout the day to make sure my body was in better alignment. Because I know that when I get stressed, it tends to show up in my upper back and neck, I also recited various mantras and intentions that helped my mind to relax. By focusing on opening up both my mind and body, that stubborn knot in my neck began to open up and release too. Yoga is such a valued part of my life because by consciously spending time opening up my muscles, I also feel relaxed in a much deeper sense. It creates more energy flow in my body, which not only improves my health and stress levels, but also makes my mind less rigid. When I open up my mind to various possibilities of how life could be, it creates more willingness to explore within me. It is that very openness that allowed routine-loving, risk-averse me to travel the world, or have a career in the arts, or move across the country and trust that I could start again. Where could you benefit from more openness in your life? Tonight, we're going to explore the quality of openness and how it can create more peace in your mind and flow in your body. Get comfortable and cozy as we prepare to meditate together to Opening Up to Relaxation by Billy Gill. The Big Five personality model, also known as the 5-factor model, includes 5 broad personality traits that are used to describe and understand human personality. These 5 traits include conscientiousness, neuroticism, agreeableness, extroversion, and openness. By openness, this model reflects the extent to which a person is open-minded, imaginative, and willing to engage in novel experiences. Each of the 5 traits has its unique characteristics and plays a role in shaping how people think, feel, and behave in various situations. These traits aren't fixed but are malleable and tend to change over the course of someone's life as experiences and other factors influence them. It's a useful model to generally examine the tendencies that we display in our personalities. People tend to score highly on some of these traits and score lower on others, which offers insight into why we feel the way we do about the world and how to live in it. For example, individuals who score higher in trait openness tend to be creative, open to new ideas, and enjoy exploring different perspectives and possibilities. They are often more receptive to unconventional or abstract thinking and are willing to challenge traditional beliefs and norms. Individuals low in openness, on the other hand, are more traditional, prefer routine and familiarity, and may be more resistant to change or new experiences. They tend to be more practical and prefer concrete, straightforward approaches to situations. This model is one way of understanding and describing personality, but it isn't a rigid model, and it allows for a continuum of traits that are exhibited to greater and lesser degrees depending on the situation. Tonight's sleep meditation explores the concept of openness, not only as one of the big 5 personality traits, but as the broader concept and quality that can be cultivated to liberate ourselves from stuck patterns of behavior and thought. Take this opportunity to make any final adjustments to your physical body and surroundings to make sure you're comfortable and relaxed. Take a deep breath and release the cares and worries of the day. Notice the brief pause at the bottom of your exhale and patiently await the impulse for the next inhale. When you feel the need for a new breath, simply open and receive the fresh oxygen from the air that surrounds you. The air pressure outside of your body is higher than the air pressure inside your chest. And since pressure always seeks an area of lower concentration, the oxygen-rich air outside of you is simply falling into your lungs as you create the space to receive it. This is a beautiful metaphor for how openness can benefit your life in so many ways, just as the oxygen you receive flows in to benefit and nourish all of your tissues. Spend a few moments with your breath and simply observe the gentle cadence of the inhale and the exhale, being mindful of the pauses between the 2 breaths. Breathe in, pause. Breathe out, pause. Go on, observing the breath in this way. Never strain and try not to impose your will excessively on the breath, but rather cultivate the attitude of a witness. You aren't doing it. The breath takes care of itself. Go on, watching the breath as your belly rises and falls. Inhale, navel rising. Exhale, navel falling. Inhale, navel rising. Exhale, navel falling. Inhale, navel rising. Exhale, navel falling. Continue on for some time. Although we have a certain predisposition that affects how our personalities develop, our experiences and actions play an important role in that process too. If someone took a risk at one point in their life and decided to try something new, and then it backfired, it's understandable that they might be reluctant to try new things in the future. This is what the ancient yogis called a samskara. A samskara refers to the impression that is made in the mind in every experience we have. Some of these impressions form deep grooves in the mind, much like a riverbed forms a deep groove in the landscape. A riverbed is formed over time by the continuous flow of water. Similarly, samskaras are formed in the mind over time through the continuous flow of thoughts, emotions, and experiences. Just as water leaves its mark on the riverbed, experiences leave their impressions on the mind, creating deep grooves in the form of samskaras. These deep grooves in the mind heavily influence how we see the world, how we see others, how we see ourselves. When they are unconscious and unexamined, they can create a current of thoughts and behaviors that lead to predictable and repeated outcomes. This is why people often find themselves in similar situations over and over again. Unless and until these samskaras are acknowledged, we won't be able to change our thoughts and behaviors, much less their eventual outcome. In order to cultivate openness, acknowledge the impressions that have been left in the mind through a lifetime of experiences. Each of these experiences have shaped your inner landscape, and thus will affect how subtle sensations and feeling flow within your body and how you respond to them. There are positive samskaras that lead to healthy habits, which serve to increase our well-being and can even transcend themselves. For example, if you develop a habit of meditating before sleep, you may eventually find that relaxation comes effortlessly, and the need to meditate in order to relax disappears. Negative samskaras, on the other hand, keep us in a repetitive cycle that will ultimately weaken us and create more dependence on these unhealthy habits. Drinking alcohol or taking drugs to escape psychological anxiety begins a vicious cycle, which leads to a greater dependency and thus more anxiety. Everyone experiences both positive and negative samskaras, and it's important to release any judgment around the fact that you have them. In fact, judgment and self-criticism are also samskaras. As soon as you recognize that a samskara is present, the flow of energy through that mental groove changes, and there is a possibility of changing the direction of the flow. Imagine yourself standing by a deep and peaceful river. It flows smoothly before you as you gaze at its gentle and steady flow. This river represents the flow of your consciousness, and within its depths lies the riverbed of samskaras, the impressions in your mind left by every experience you've had in your life. Some experiences have left deep grooves, which change the course of the river itself. As you observe the river, imagine this intricate pattern of the riverbed etched in the earth. Water flows into the empty spaces. The water itself has no preferences. It simply flows along the grooves that have been formed by the rocks, gravel, and sediment of your experiences. As you watch the flow of the river, you realize that the riverbed can and does change. What are the recurring themes in your life that seem to appear over and over again? What are the habits and patterns of thought and behavior that seem to continually flow in the same direction? These are the samskaras that have formed within your mind. Simply recognizing them is the beginning of the process to release them. Allow yourself plenty of grace, understanding that these grooves have formed over the course of your life, both positive and negative ones. As you breathe slowly in and out, you see the river ebb and flow with the gentle rhythm of your breath. Inhale, the river's current flows more abundantly. Exhale, the river's flow decreases. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. The abundance of this flow inspires you to ponder all the good things that you have in your life. You feel a deep sense of gratitude for the gifts that you've received throughout the course of your life, many of which seemed to come to you without any effort on your part. Just as this river derives its abundance from the headwaters, you too have received the good things in your life from an abundant source. Acknowledge that this benevolent source flows to you through the open pathways, just as water flows through the empty spaces of the river's surface. Openness is a necessary component of receiving. Feel the breath flowing through your nostrils. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Through the power of your attention that rides on the breath, the water begins to wash away the old patterns and habits of the past, like a cleansing wave that washes away the debris of old memories and beliefs that no longer serve you. The water begins to flow in new directions and form the riverbed anew. New possibilities, new people, new ideas emerge from this openness and receptivity. In this transformative process, you may feel moments of resistance or hesitation. Recognize that the release of these samskaras is a gradual one. Openness can be challenging. Trust that the process will unfold naturally. As you open into expansiveness, you move bravely into uncharted territory. Embrace patience on this journey of growth and transformation. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Watching the belly rise and fall with each inhale and exhale, notice the moments of stillness and openness as you patiently await the impulse for each new breath. That moment of stillness symbolizes the stillness between thoughts. This place of no thought, the still silence of pure awareness, expands into openness and invites new pathways for thoughts and actions. Let your attention flow to the source of your consciousness. As you grow more and more relaxed, more and more at ease, trusting more and more in the natural, unobstructed flow of your consciousness, become aware of the source. The grooves in your riverbed are not the same as the water that flows through those spaces. Gradually, bring more awareness to the consciousness that flows through your mind than the thought patterns that appear. Return to the source of all thought. Acknowledge and receive from that source that springs eternal. Develop an awareness of your whole body, from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. The whole body, a one unified field of awareness. Imagine that the sensations, feelings, and thoughts that appear in your perception are flowing through you as a system of tiny rivers. Feel the waters of your consciousness flowing unobstructed through these innumerable shimmering tributaries as you breathe slowly and deeply in and out through the nostrils. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. As you drift peacefully to a blissful sleep, trust in the expansiveness of your life, its potential, its ever-renewing possibilities, and the openness of your mind. Sleep. Sleep.